Hello, Miss Raven. Can you hear me? Just making sure my audio is good. Checking my audio. Loud and clear. Awesome. Just giving it a few minutes, waiting for some people to come on. I try to do the whole schedule the live kind of thing. I thought I did it right, but I guess I didn't do it right. I love my snow people, my snow family. That's me, my husband, and my daughter. They're supposed to go outside. Hello, long time sunshine. 2222. Love your name. Yeah, I did have the snow guys outside, but um, my house is the corner house, and we've been getting these really bad windstorms, and it seems to hit harder when you're the corner house. So I didn't want them to get messed up because it already broke one of my blow ups and broke my Halloween stuff too. Hello, Phoenix. Phoenix Diamond. Hello, hello. So I saved my snow people and I brought them inside. They look prettier inside, anyways. So I'm just waiting for some people to get on so that we can recap yesterday. And you have wind there too. Yeah, the wind here is. I love windstorms. I just don't like when it breaks my stuff. So we have 4 people on. I'm just waiting for some more peoples. Hello. I hope your day has been blessed. Hello, Morgan. Yes, my day has been blessed. I did go through a little scare though a little while ago. Um, so we take care of my dad. My husband's his caregiver. So I told my husband, well, I'll go with you for dinner. And it was about 4 o'clock. We were gonna leave at 5, but I had just finished baking cookies, and I said, well, why don't we just go now? So when we got there, he was sleeping, and he was actually not sleep. Well, he was sleeping, but he was falling into a seizure. He was borderline seizure when I found him. He was all wet. I checked his blood sugar. It was 40. Changed his shirt because it was wet. He was sweating, but he didn't have a seizure at that point. If we would have been any later, we would have found him seizing or maybe not even alive. So, God forbid, but we changed his clothes, and then he was shivering, like he was shaking really, really, really bad. So his temperature was 93.3. It was scary. Like I'm not a nurse or anything, so I don't know anything. So yeah, I was scared. So I just got home a little while ago. I almost didn't go live because I'm still a little shaken up. It's like that rush you feel after being so scared. But his numbers are good. He's back to normal. His temperature is good and he feels good. So that's good. I don't like seeing people sick, especially people that are your family. It's crazy scary. Diabetes is crazy scary. Me too. I'm glad he's back to normal. So let me see. I was missing some chats here. Hello. Hi, Phoenix. Are you in Arizona? Hello, Morgan. Don't matter what time of year, but summer. Yeah, it's true. It doesn't matter what time of year. It's always windy here. It could be summer, spring, winter. It's always windy here. Um, Remember to thumbs up, please. Yes, Phoenix. Thank you. Thumb up the video. Monet, that was scary. Yes. No, he's still not regulated. His pancreas is shot. That's what the doctor said. So we just have to keep checking his numbers and adjusting his insulin. North Carolina. We have family in North Carolina. My husband and I. We both have family in North Carolina. Where in North Carolina? That theme park. I forget the name of that theme park, but we have family close to that. Glad to hear he's back to normal. I'm glad that we made it in time too. It's a blessing that I made those cookies today, because I only went with my husband because I made the cookies and I wanted to surprise him with cookies, even though he's a diabetic, but he tends to drop very low or go very high. So I give him the cookies when he's very low. And today I baked those cookies and I was like, let's go. I want to give him cookies. And boom, I found him at the state where he needed cookies. He needed sugar. MFull42, did I say your name right? Hello. We have 3 snowmen candle holders. I love my little snow family up there. Hi, how are you? No, he doesn't have a live-in caregiver. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, Charlotte, North Carolina. No, he doesn't have a live-in caregiver. My daughter used to, my husband's his caregiver. We live like 6 miles away. So we're there a couple times a day. But my daughter used to live there, but she doesn't live there anymore. My older daughter. Tyrone Place? No. I'm trying to think of the place that some of my family lives closer to, I think it's Tennessee, Carolina, or something like that. Or maybe I'm like way off. But my husband, Carowinds, yes, that theme park, Carowinds. That was fun. That was big. Yes, he has been through so many trials. His blood sugar is bad. I hope I am never a diabetic. I just got checked a couple, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had all this blood work done, and I was supposed to fast and I didn't know. And my doctor told me, yeah, you're supposed to fast. And she goes, but your glucose was perfect. And I said, well, I think I ate something. Most likely I had toast and coffee, but I drink my coffee black. But she said, oh, wow, if you ate and your numbers were whatever they were, she said, your glucose is perfect. She goes, she has nothing to worry about, or I have nothing to worry about. I'm not diabetic, which makes me feel good. But I am very low in vitamin D. So I had to increase my vitamin D because I was below the average low, which is scary because I take 1,000 units or UI or whatever it's called every day. So I just increased it a little bit. Okay, so I have 7 people on. I'm not sure who was here yesterday. Who was not here yesterday? Can you give me a hand? Raise your hand. Gastrointestinal diabetes with... Hey, Glitch. Glitch is in the house. He's driving. It's his daughter's birthday. Everybody wish his daughter a happy birthday. Okay, so Monet wasn't here. Phoenix wasn't here. Okay, so for those of you that weren't here, I know Glitch wasn't here. So yesterday, my tablet died, so I had to cut the live short, even though the live was actually not short. It was actually 2 hours. Blew my mind. It actually took all night long and most of the morning to upload it. So I started off yesterday's live with talking about some of my symptoms that I've been experiencing, and What else did I talk about? All the crazy thing. Oh, my migraine. I had this wicked bad migraine for like 4 days. It was so bad. It was so bad that I almost went to the hospital to make sure that everything was okay, that it wasn't gonna like die or something. It felt like my brain was gonna liquefy. It was scary. And then we talked about the changing sleep patterns, which is called the triad sleep pattern phase. I talked about the crown chakra, the tingling of the crown chakra. I spoke about waves of emotion. I talked about old stuff coming up and weight fluctuations and why it happened, gaining weight, losing weight, eating habits. I spoke about food intolerances. I talked about the increased sensitivity of your senses. What else did I talk about yesterday? I'm just going over my notes. Skin eruptions, I spoke about that. Intense energy. I talked about not feeling the same sensation that you did when you first started meditating or praying or whatever it is that you do to connect with spirit. And I left off at power surges, and that's when my tablet died, which sucked. I can't believe that I covered all that in 2 hours. You're experiencing all of them. You guys that did not catch my live yesterday, definitely, if you have 2 hours to spare, watch part 1, because I go into detail with all that stuff. Hopefully everybody has something like water nearby. Stay hydrated. There was some activity on the Schumann resonance last night. Some stuff coming in. I had a really mild headache this morning. It was nothing like it was the last couple of days, and it went away, thank God. So I have 10 people in the house. Let me just catch up on the chat real quick, see where we are at. Glitch is listening and he's driving. People are wishing Glitch's daughter happy birthday. I got some purple hearts. Big time on the Schumann. Monet said, I just woke up drained and exhausted today. Yeah, you know what? When I woke up today, I slept pretty good last night. I was really exhausted when I woke up, but I also I knew that energy hit, because when I woke up this morning, I felt like I weighed 1,000 pounds. Every joint hurt. My joints still hurt. My joints hurt. My elbows and my knees and on my big toe on my left foot. And in the back of my neck. I have some pain in the back of my neck today. All right, so let's pick up where I left off, and I'm going to read from my notes. You woke up with neck pain too? That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but yes, Epsom salt baths, they really do help. I don't know why I'm so hard-headed. I mean, I love taking baths. I just really just haven't had the time to do it, or I've just been too lazy. Most likely just lazy. Procrastination. Okay, so if I don't respond to you, it's because I'm not looking at that screen. I'm looking at my other screen because I'm going to read my notes. So let's jump into this. Power surges. So another side effect or symptom to the awakening or the ascension or any of the solar Schumann activity, geomagnetics, anything that comes in that's energetic, these symptoms that I'm talking about will most likely affect you or could affect you. And experiencing power surges is one of them. Power surges is, for instance, like all of a sudden you are your body just heats up, like somebody just like turned up the heat and your whole body just gets hot. I wrote on December 17th, this happened to me. And it felt like I had a thermostat in my body and someone just raised it up to 100. I literally went from feeling normal to overheated. I went from being cold to like steaming hot. I'm gonna admit I got a little nervous when I felt that because I literally felt the rise in my body. I've never felt what I felt on December 17th. What I felt was so strange. I never felt that. I never felt normal and then all of a sudden overheated. The way it came in was just really strange. But then again, this whole week has been really strange for me. And if you guys listened to part one of the video, I went into detail of what I've experienced in these last couple of days when I wasn't feeling well. Menopause. Oh no, I don't think so. I don't know how you tell you. I don't know if you go to the doctors and they run tests on you or something, but as far as I know, I don't have menopause. If that's menopause, I don't want it. Hell, I don't want that. Being from like 0 to 100. How old do you, when do you even get menopause? I want to say my mom went through menopause and she was like in her like her late 30s. I hope it's not hereditary, even though I don't believe in that hereditary stuff. I'm breaking that karmic cycle. No hereditary stuff is allowed to happen to me. In your 40s, I'm screwed. Well, I'm in my 40s. Welcome, menopause. Wonderful. Men are so lucky. They don't get anything. Yeah. So I remember feeling like really strange. You were 42, I'm 42. You had a hysterectomy. Being a woman sucks sometimes. It's rough. Okay, so back to my notes. So yeah, my whole body just heated up. It was really strange. I felt really weird. I don't know. I've never had that before. And I remember saying to my husband, I feel really strange, like something's going on. And when I get sick or when I don't feel good or when I'm normally hypersensitive, so when I'm hypersensitive to a situation or what's happening around me, I'm like a cat. I end up like walking away and leaving the room quietly without telling anybody where I'm going. I just like leave and I try to cope alone. And I like to be alone when I don't feel well because it's like I'm trying to focus on healing myself and making myself feel better. But it didn't last long. I mean, it only lasted for a couple moments. The sensation probably lasted for, I don't know, a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes max, but I don't think it was that long. It was just really uncomfortable because it was something that I never felt before, and I did not like it. In contrast, some people have felt, these power surges. They either feel cold for no reason or they feel hot for no reason. I get cold too, but I do have a problem because I don't have a thyroid, and your thyroid regulates your temperature. So I tend to get very cold. Like right now I'm kind of shivering. So if you're hearing my voice like it's because I'm kind of cold. So yeah, I don't have a thyroid, so it's kind of hard to regulate my body, but I've never felt this overheated sensation and it was kind of scary. But for the most part, I usually only experience being cold. I'm just reading my notes, you guys. I kind of lost track where I was. Oh, I left out when I had that wave of being hot and overheated, after that wave of heat went away and I started to cool down, I was in my back bedroom and I just laid in bed and I just became really, really exhausted and really tired. And I just like closed my eyes for a few minutes. And that's all I needed. And then I started to feel better. Even though I still had a headache, I was feeling better. My body was feeling better. Um, just reading. Another symptom of these power surges is you may feel like these waves or currents of energy roll through your body. I experience that. I feel like these waves or 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 currents of energy that kind of like rush through my body, and it kind of does feel like a wave, like a whoosh kind of a feeling, and it kind of makes you a little bit jittery, and it can make you feel a little bit nauseous. When these things happen to me and I go through these things and they throw me off balance and they make me, a little anxious, nervous. When I go away to try to heal myself in another room, I have to remind myself that the energy will pass. This shall pass. I'm going to be okay. And I tell myself, I'm going to be okay. I'm a divine being and I have the power to heal myself. And I tell myself to let go of the fear. And I just keep reminding myself that I'm divine, I'm sovereign, I'm okay. And then, usually when I talk to myself like that, usually those feelings of fear and anxiety, they start to go away. They start to like just melt away. So if you're an energy worker and if you've noticed these heat sensations run through your hands, just know that that's a normal thing. That's a good thing. But if you're noticing these things run through your body, at this point, I have no idea what that is. Other than energy. I just had a huge wave of energy rush through my body. My advice to you guys is if you are uncomfortable, ask your angels or your higher self, to come down and turn the temperature down a bit or to help you, to calm you down, or you could, just talk to yourself out loud and remind yourself that that this will pass, you're okay, and everything will be okay. Here's another symptom that I have a lot. And I have a lot of symptoms, you guys, to share with you guys. I think this is going to be another long live. Sorry, I don't feel like I'm with it. This whole thing threw me off. Oops, dropped my headphones. So you guys may experience a wide range of physical symptoms or manifestations. Things like headaches, back pains, neck pains, flu-like symptoms. And those flu-like symptoms in the spiritual community are called vibrational flu or ascension flu. You may experience digestive issues, muscular spasms or cramps, a racing or palpitating heart, chest pains, and that's most likely due to air, the chest pains, but it also could be due to your heart chakra opening. You could be experiencing changes in your sexual desire or behavior, numbness or pain in your legs, your arms, your feet, your toes, your fingers. You could be experiencing an involuntary vocalization or involuntary body movements like jolts, jumps when you're just sitting there. This happens to me at night when I'm relaxing, going to bed. My body usually jumps. I don't know why, it just jumps. Sometimes I'll dream that I'm falling and then my body just jumps. So pay attention to all of this. And if any of this is happening to you, I recommend that you guys are documenting this stuff by journaling, Journal, journal, journal. Talk about this. Write it down. If you're not into writing, record it. Mostly everybody has a cell phone, and everybody has a record button on their cell phone. Some people even have apps like notes and stuff like that, a note app. Or I know on my cell phone I have this app that I can record my voice, like a voice recorder. Or you could go out and buy a voice recorder and you can record these things if you don't like to write. And I recommend that you do that because, some of these things that you're feeling now may make no sense to you. But if you keep documenting them, you can read and look back or listen back to what you wrote down in 6 months from now, or a year from now, or if you're like me, 5 years from now. And it's like puzzle pieces, and you'll start to realize, why you're having this or why you're having that. But I document everything. Like, I document the solar activity, what's going on in the Schumann resonance. I document the body pains I'm having, what situations I'm dealing with in life. Did I have a disagreement with my kids or my husband or anybody in general? I document everything because everything matters. These are all puzzle pieces to your life. So also, if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, it's always good to talk to your doctor, get medical help first, just to make sure, that nothing, especially if you're getting those heart palpitations, talk to your doctor about it, bring it up to your doctor just to make sure that you don't have some sort of a medical condition. And if your doctor gives you a clear bill of health, then you're golden, and you can just relax and journal it. Put it in your journal. Oh, I don't know why I'm so cold, you guys. Talking about those feeling cold and hot. I feel like I'm freezing. Watch the ads, please. Are there ads? Sorry, I didn't mean to blow in your guys' ear. I just have my headset on, and I just realized I blew into my hands, and Oh, how do I take the ads off? Are the ads popping up as my video is recording or as I'm recording? That sucks. I must have hit something when I was trying to program this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have put it on. I was hitting a bunch of buttons when I was trying to program the show to start at a certain time, which I failed to do, I think. Anyways, I don't go live a lot, so I really don't really know how to work this. No, she was saying that when you first get onto the video, there's ads. I must have turned the button to monetize on. I didn't know that you can do that in a live, but I guess you can. Okay, so another symptom or side effect that you guys may experience during these energy shifts or during your awakening is, and this one is my favorite, is looking younger. I've talked about this before because this one's my favorite, so I always bring it up. As you clear away emotional issues and release limited beliefs and heavy baggage from your life and from your past, your current life and from your past, this includes negative emotions, pain, grudges, old habits, people, and jobs, which is, I'm still working on all this. The whole people part, because some of these people could be your family. So family is included. I should just say family and jobs that don't serve you anymore. And yes, family can be the kind of people in your life that don't serve you anymore, or they're in your life and they're bringing up a lot of negativity. Yes, letting go of people, family, friends, even it could even be your spouse too. So people and stuff like that. If they don't serve you anymore, you have to let them go. You have to cut the cord. You have to release it and let go of what no longer serves you. I'm currently going through stuff like this. So I know it needs to be done. I'm doing it. I'm human just like you guys are. I have my moments, but I am aware of it, and it's something I'm definitely working on. I've come a long way though. So yes, cutting those cords, letting go and releasing. You're actually lightening the load and becoming lighter. Your frequency is higher. You start to love yourself more. You start to love life more. You begin to resemble the perfect you, your authentic self, the person that you really are, your true self. And then you start to grow so that you can glow. Vivid dreams is another thing you guys may be experiencing. Sometimes the dreams are so real that you wake up confused. I know I talked about this in video in part 1. I was telling you guys about the things I dreamt, in these last few days when I was going through all this. I dreamt, for those of you that didn't hear part 1, I was dreaming, but I didn't know I was dreaming, that I had 2 Minervas. Minerva is my cat. I had 2 cats. That when I woke up, I went around the house looking for the other cat, and then I realized I was looking for a cat that I dreamt about. My dream it felt so real, you guys. So sometimes you dream about things that are so real that when you wake up, you feel a little confused. This happens to me actually quite a bit. You may even experience lucid dreams, and you can, if you want a lucid dream and you want to know what it feels like, you can actually go to YouTube and search in the search engine guided lucid dream meditations, and scroll through until you find one that resonates with you, and that will help you get calm and into the dream, and maybe you'll have a nice lucid dream. I like listening to Jody Whiteley. Jody, Whitley. I think that's how you spell her last name, Whiteley. I think I may have butchered her last name. It's not Jody Whitley, Jody Whiteley. So yeah, if you guys want to Google her, I haven't seen her on in a while. Hopefully she's okay, but her old content is still there, and she has some really cool stuff. And I love her voice. Her voice is so calming. So many dreams can be very mystical. They can even carry messages for you. Dreams are very symbolic. And in some dreams, you just know that you are not dreaming, that you are actually traveling. Your soul actually leaves your body every single night, and it's traveling. It always comes back to the body because it's connected to that silver cord. Once that silver cord is disconnected from your body, you no longer have a body to come back to, because that means you are basically dead. You've transitioned. Your spirit is free to roam. So every night we are free to roam, and we do. And most people don't even remember dreaming. But every night you dream, you roam, and you explore. And when you wake up, it's because your spirit is coming back into your body. It's always going to come back into your body as long as it's connected to that silver cord. When you pass away and transition, the cord is released. What else? Sorry, I feel like I'm not prepared for you guys. And if you guys are dreaming and you're remembering your dreams, you will remember them for the first couple of moments while you're awake. But as soon as you go to the bathroom and come back, you're probably going to forget. So if you guys are having these awesome dreams and you're telling yourself, oh my God, I'm going to remember this tomorrow, I would suggest that you keep a dream journal, or record your dreams on your phone. Because if you're like me, I don't like to write anything, in the middle of the night when I'm laying in bed. So, and I can't see, and I'm not going to turn the light on to write down my dreams. So I'll just take my cell phone real quick, and I'll, speak into my recorder, and I'll record my dreams. And then in the morning time, then I'll write it down so I don't forget it. Because dreams are very symbolic. They have messages for you, and they're very important for you, and they're very helpful. Just Just scrolling through my notes. Another thing I wrote here is people that are consciously on their path or going through an awakening experience or experience events that alter their life. Events like a death, breakups, divorce, change in job status, loss of a home, loss of your, I was going to say apartment, but I guess a home, apartment is the same thing, an illness, something catastrophic. Sometimes these things could happen all at once, and these things will actually force you to get on the correct path, or force you to wake up, or force you to become aware or conscious, spiritually conscious. These forces were actually put into your life before you incarnated here. These forces were put in your soul contract. They were put there to possibly cause you to slow down in life, to simplify your life, to change something in your life, to re-examine something in your life, or to re-examine who you are and, what life means to you. Forces that you cannot ignore. Forces that cause you to release your attachments. These forces could awaken your sense of love. These forces could awaken your sense of compassion for, yourself, and not just yourself, but for everyone and everything around you. So remember that if you're experiencing these dark moments in your life, darkness is a blessing in disguise, a lesson. And these lessons will become blessings, even when they're really hard. Like, for instance, I know a death can become really hard. Breakups are hard. I mean, I went through a really horrible breakup, which I'm going to get into that because I know I wrote that in my notes more down, but I'm gonna touch base on that. But yeah, I went through all of these things except, I mean, I've dealt with death, like my cousins dying, but my grandparents dying, but I haven't dealt with a death that has that's really shaken me to my core. So I think this whole thing with dealing with my dad this really has me shaken up. I mean, I know death is not the end. I did a video on that about a year ago or so. And I talked to you guys about how my biggest fear in life used to be death. Like I used to have panic attacks because I was so afraid to die. But I know that energy transfers. I channel spirit. I talk to spirit. I have family members, friends that have passed over that I communicate with. When I channel for some of you guys, because some of you guys, I don't know who's on here that I've done tarot for, but there's people on here that I've done tarot for and had messages come through, and it's just like mind-blowing. Even though I know I'm channeling, it's still mind-blowing for me. It's still exciting for me. So I know death is not the end. It's not the it's not the ultimate ending to, knowing who that person is. It's just going to be sad not having that physical person there because we are physical beings. We're these souls having these physical experiences. So it's going to be devastating. So I haven't yet dealt with a death, but I have dealt with like a really bad breakup when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, when I thought I was in love. Another thing you guys may experience is a desire to break free from restrictive patterns, life-draining jobs, difficult lifestyles, and toxic people or toxic situations. You feel a compelling need to find yourself and your life purpose. You want to be creative, you want to be free, you want to be free to be who you really are. You might find yourself drawn to art, and art is, drawing, poetry, music, stuff like that. You may be drawn to nature. That's happened to me. I got really involved in nature when I first moved out here, and I even bought a camera and started to take pictures of flowers and animals and stuff like that. I got some pretty cool pictures. If you guys are on Facebook, I have a group page called My Desire to Reminisce, and that's where I put all my nature photos. You may even have this urge to want to unclutter yourself from things and people that no longer serve you. If that is something that you are experiencing, my advice to you would be to surrender to it all. It's just easier if you surrender. I'm learning this the more and more I go on. I mean, I do these videos and I talk to you guys, but when I talk about, this stuff out loud, it's like somebody else is talking to me and I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. I'm living it, but I get it. Another side effect that you may experience is emotional and mental confusion. Emotional and mental confusion will definitely rear its ugly head while you are on this journey, down your path. You may have feelings that you need to get your life straightened out. And it's because it's out of control, or it feels like it's just a hot mess. Like you need a makeover. Again, if you're going through this and you're feeling this, you need to surrender and just let go. Kind of like go with the flow, and not try to hang on to something that is trying to fall away from you and get away from you. And if it's something that you're struggling with to deal with, and it's causing you pain, like heartbreak or whatever, just tell yourself, this soon shall pass. I know it's easier to give advice than it is to take advice. I'm working on that too. This one hit me hard. Introspection, solitude, and loss of interest. This stage of your awakening may come to a surprise to you, because it did for me. I used to be a person that was an extrovert. I think that's the word, right? I used to be very outgoing. I used to be very involved. I was always out around people. I always wanted to be out around people. I traveled with my husband a lot. He sings for a living professionally. So we used to go to a lot of shows. We don't do all that now because of the whole thing with the virus. And he's semi-retired. But as of 2014, I started to feel very introverted. And when I would go to shows with him, I'm his manager. So when I would go to shows with him, I always made sure that he had a VIP area set up somewhere far away from people. I usually would stay in the dressing room or backstage somewhere where there was no people. And if there was no backstage and no dressing room, I would make sure that the VIP section would be blocked off to the, to where I had enough space to be away from people. Because I don't know, being married to him, people were always wanting to take pictures with me. And I used to be like, I think you're confused. You want to take a picture with them. They're the ones that you want, not me. I'm nobody. And they used to be like, no, but you're married to Freeze. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So after a while, it just kind of got to me and I started to become introverted. And then I started to just like hide. And it got so bad to the point that I didn't even want to be his manager anymore or his road manager. So I got somebody else to be a road manager. So somebody that he has known for 30 years is now his road manager. So you probably won't see me at shows if you're into freestyle music, because I don't really like to be around a group of people. But I'm getting better at that. I'm not so introverted anymore. Um, I don't know why. I don't know why that happened to me. It just did. It was like day and night. One minute I was out, and then it was like the next weekend we had a big show, and it was like, boom, I'm an introvert. And I wanted nothing to do with people. I always tell people I don't feel like peopling today. I actually took 5 years off from peopling. And that's when I was living in New York City. I was actually working in Queens for Bronstein Properties. It was 100 buildings, not 100 properties, 100 buildings. And I just had, I just, my peopling was capped. And I felt like I was losing it. And then I moved to the country and became an introvert and started to get into nature and learn to love myself. I started to learn a lot about myself, actually. I got very acquainted with myself. So if you find yourself becoming an introvert, don't become an introvert and play video games or eat a bunch of food and become unhealthy. If you do become an introvert, I would suggest to get to know yourself, get acquainted with yourself, read, find out, what do you like? What are you into? Do you even know what you guys are into? What are your desires? What are your passions? I didn't even know that I liked to do crafting until I moved out here, and I was like, oh, all this time I had on my hands. I took 5 years off of work because I needed it. I needed a break. And during those 5 years, I learned a lot about myself. And then I started to learn a lot about nature and trees. And the I was like on this schedule with, the sunrise and the sunset. And I looked forward to the seasons changed. I could tell you what leaves were gonna fall off of what tree first, because I was on this, this pattern, this, I don't know, this nature pattern. It was pretty cool. And I started to do these walks of gratitude because I was listening to Greg Prescott, and, he was doing these walks of gratitude. So he inspired me to do walks of gratitude. By the way, if you guys don't know who he is, you guys should definitely check out his content. He just had a major surgery, and he is actually, he has a GoFundMe page set up. He's trying to raise money for his surgery. He had diverticulitis, and they had to take out some of his, oh my God, some of his digestive tract down there. But if you guys go over to his YouTube channel and check him out, he talks about it and everything. He even has some pictures on his videos, and he explains the surgery he had and why he had it and why he's requesting donations for his surgery. He is an awesome guy. But yeah, he definitely inspired me to start doing walks of gratitude. And when I started to do this, I started to get in tune with nature. And that's how I got acquainted with myself. Let's see here. What else did I write? Creativity bursts. This is what happened to me when I got acquainted with myself. I had these creativity bursts. These will most likely happen to you when you are introverted, but it won't, you don't have to be an introvert for this to happen, but it will most likely happen to you if you become an introvert. Again, however, you don't have to be an introvert for creativity bursts to occur. And when you get these bursts, they may come to you like you might receive these images or just like these creative ideas out of the blue. You might become very creative and talented in music, writing it, making it, singing it. And there's other creative inspirations. There's a whole lot out there. You won't know until you get acquainted with yourself. I had my moments, and they hit me big when I was living. It all started when I was working in Queens for that property. That was it. It was because of the people. 100 buildings. Do you know what it is to take care of 100 buildings? I did the lease renewals for 100 buildings. So pay attention to these bursts of creativities. Pay attention to these inspirations, because spirit or your higher self is guiding you and speaking to you about how you might fulfill your purpose and contribute to the healing for yourself and to the healing of the planet and for your growth spiritually. Some people actually realize that they're really good at what they're creating, and they can make a career out of, you know, doing what they love. And that is awesome, because who really wants to get up and go to work for somebody else when you can get up and go to work for yourself and do something that you actually enjoy and something you actually love. My intention a couple years ago was to create a YouTube channel so I wouldn't have to work again, but they made it really hard for you to, be creative and make money, because I think I should have started this probably in 2000 and what? 2007, 2008. I don't know when it came out and became popular, but there's so many channelers on here that are speaking, about the same things I'm talking about, and they already have the 152,000, a million followers, and that is actually how they're making money to live. So I really, it became a reality. It hit me. Okay, you're never going to make money enough to pay your bills. So I don't do this to pay my bills. I would love to, but I don't. If I could, I would, definitely. And I would definitely bring you guys more content on a regular. It would be on a schedule. But because it's not, doing it for me, I just throw out content when I can. Oh, I have 11 people watching. I looked up and it says 11, 11. 11 people watching, 11 thumbs up. Hello, 11 people. I love it. Where did I leave off? I just started scrolling and scrolling and scrolling as I was talking. Time. Let's talk about the time. How many of you have been feeling like that the time has been speeding up? It's been accelerating. It's been like the days have been going by so fast. I feel like this 2020 flew by. Even though 2020 has been rough, it literally felt like it flew by. I got one smiley face. December flew by. I feel like I just decorated this house. And I did. I mean, on November 1st is when all the Halloween stuff came down and all the Christmas stuff went up. I literally did it all in the same day. Misty says time has went by so fast. I feel like I just decorated and now it's all going to come down in a couple days. Even though my husband wants me to keep it up to New Year's, but I never keep my decorations up till New Year's. He wants me to keep it up until at least he celebrates Three Kings Day. So this year we're going to keep everything up so he can celebrate Three Kings Day. But normally I take everything down the day after Christmas. I'm awful. I'm a Scrooge. Even the Christmas tree comes down. As fast as it goes up is as fast as I take it down. And I put my house back to normal and it just stays boring and dull until Halloween. Yeah, Halloween was quick too. I love Halloween. Halloween and Christmas are my two favorite holidays. My ultimate favorite. So yeah, if you're going through this awakening and you are aware that you are conscious, that you are, waking up spiritually and you're tapping in or you're tapped in. For those of you that are tapped in, may experience a time acceleration or acceleration of time. And I lost my place again. So if this is happening to you guys, I wrote down that breaking your day up into appointments and time segments increases the sense of acceleration. You can slow down if you want if you don't want the day to go by so fast. you want to enjoy your day, you can slow down time by relaxing into the present moment and paying attention to, what's at hand or what you have scheduled or what you're doing or you know, what's on the, what you're planning for the day. Not anticipating, what's ahead for you. I know for some of us, that concept may not, not allow us to do these things or to do that due to our schedule. Because some of us do have, well, I used to have a really hectic schedule when I was working at the restaurant. It was like I had no life. It was like I sold my soul to that place. A couple months ago, I probably wouldn't have had time, time, air quotes, time. But yeah, you can slow down by being in the present moment and paying attention to what you are currently doing at this moment. And if you can't do that because you're really busy and you have a really hectic schedule, everybody has at least one day off. At least I hope some you guys have at least one day off. And if you can't do it during the week when you're busy, on your day off, you can try to practice slowing down your day and enjoying, the day or the moment. And you need to tell yourself that you have time. You have plenty of air quote time. Stop saying that you have no time. Or and you need to stop saying that you're so busy. I can't do this because I'm so busy. I got to do yada yada yada. Or I have no time. You got to stop telling yourself that, because if you keep telling yourself that, you're not in control. You control your world because you created it. Ask your higher self is you, by the way, it's your future you, to help you, keep you focused in the present. Try to flow from one activity to the next. Don't rush through it. Even if you don't like what you're doing and you have to do it, like go to work. If you don't like working, try to enjoy it. Don't rush through it. Try to find something in what you're doing to enjoy. And get yourself focused within that moment and be grateful for that moment. Stay tuned into your inner guidance. You can also warp time by asking for it. So next time you feel rushed, you can say, time warp, please. Remember, you are the co-creator of this reality. So you can just say those words, time warp, please. I need some more time to blank, blank, blank. And then relax and chill. You are a fractal of source. Remember that. You are a godling. You are a soul in a human body. You need to take control. Sounds easy, but it's very challenging. It can be very challenging. Again, stop telling yourself and other people, I'm so busy, I can't do this, or I have no time, or you're going to manifest that into your life. You're going to manifest no time. Practice being in the moment. And I have videos that I've done, and I talked about how you can do that. Another thing that you guys may experience is a sense of looming. There's a sense that something is about to happen. This can also create anxiety. I've been feeling this for a very long time. I've talked about that in some of my videos. I even talked about last year that I felt like something huge was going to happen in 2020. I even gave you guys a date, and it happened. I didn't know it was going to be a virus, but it happened. I honestly thought it was going to be aliens, but it ended up being this virus. But yeah, you may have this sense that something is going to happen, and that sense of something may happen may cause you to worry. Even if there's nothing to worry about, it will cause you to feel anxious. You may have this inner knowing because you're tapped in. This one can be a little tricky sometimes because the feeling can be very intense and make you feel like you're about to have a panic attack because you just like, it's like you got that feeling in your gut. You just know, things are definitely happening. But anxiety only creates fear. Anxiety creates more problems for you. There is nothing to fear. Everything is happening in perfect time. Everything is as it should be. Just believe and have faith and remind yourself, everything is as it should be. This looming sensation creates impatience. You know better, but sometimes, you just can't help it. You want to get on with your life, or you want to get on with what seems to be coming your way. You just want it to get here already. You want to see what it is and get it over with. It's, uncertainty can become very uncomfortable. And my advice to you guys is to learn to live with this uncertainty and just enjoy the moment that you're in, knowing that nothing comes to you until you are ready. Impatience is really a lack of trust, especially because your higher self, your guides are always guiding you. So if you have this lack of trust and you're literally not trusting God, source, creator, you, your higher self is you. I wonder if they ever look at us and be like, oh, how insulting. They don't trust us. So yeah, your higher self is your future you, and your higher self is always trying to lead you and guide you, and it will never mislead you. When you focus on the present, you will experience joy and miracles if you can focus on the present moment. Also, that looming feeling can cause this deep yearning for meaning, purpose, spiritual connection, and or revelation. Just follow your heart. Your heart will guide you. Your higher self will guide you. It was meant to be this way, or the way that it is for you. Just know that when the door opens, or how should I put it? How do I want to put this? How do I put it to make sense? The door will open when it's your time to walk through. I don't know. Did that make sense? I'm trying to be clever. Who's on? I feel like I'm boring you guys. I went from 11 to 9. People are like, this girl's just blah. That's how I feel. I should have postponed this until tomorrow. I should have gathered myself together. I wonder if I can read all your guys' comments tomorrow. I'm kind of like going through them right now real quick. You still have hot flashes and blah, blah, blah. I think I read all that. Oh, adrenal exhaustion. I didn't even think about that. I do exactly what you do, go off by myself and just breathe. That's what Gloria said. I have to. I can't. When people are like, are you okay? Are you okay? It just causes me to become more anxious and scared because I'm like, am I okay? I don't know. I had a flash in front of my daughter and she just laughed. My mom would have those hot flashes and I used to laugh at her. Now Karma's a bitch. She's going to come over here and have a hot flash. She's going to laugh at me. My mom used to stand in front of the freezer and she would just, like stick her head in the freezer. Oh, hot flashes are probably going to suck for me. Can be menopause or ascension symptom. I don't know if it's menopause. I mean, I did just get blood work done and she didn't say anything, but I don't know if you have to check. I don't know if you check your blood for that. I don't know. My mantra is, this too will pass. Felt kind of quiet last couple of days. Phoenix is flashing now. So Cali Trails. Yeah, I've had muscle twitches. Ah, she must have pressed send and then forgot to write twitches. Muscle twitches. IG throwing restrictions, can't send posts to Europe. Probably because they're, people in Europe right now are like literally the guinea pigs. They're giving them the vaccinations and talking about another strand of the virus. They're just amping up the fear, 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 fear. Oh my God, there's a new strand. You better get inoculated. Oh, we might not even have enough to inoculate you with. Creating fear, 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 and, making you guys want, which I won't get. Get that money. I don't see any ads. Yes, I think I read that part already. Mine feels like a buzzing in my head, and sometimes I feel lightheaded and woozy. Yeah, I feel that way sometimes. I hear a lot of ringing in my ears. It seems kind of normal. A lot of people hear a lot of ringing. It's like a generic symptom. You experience the same thing. I haven't noticed any ads. Yes. I'm just reading your guys' comments. Monet has to get going. Her hubby came home. You have a good night. Much love and blessings. Misty said, that's why I love to do nature photography. Yeah, me too. I love taking pictures of, you know what I love to take pictures of? Plants that are dying. So in the season, in the autumn season, I love taking pictures of all of the plants as they transition. They're so beautiful. I like taking pictures of the sun too, and the moon. And I know Santa got me something nice. I'm going to be able to take really nice pictures of the moon. I can't wait, but I'm not allowed to have it yet. Damn Santa. Misty said, I used to be such a people person, but not since waking up, even though I have deep love for people. Yeah, I don't really hate people. It's just that there are some people out there that are just like, bleh, and they're so annoying, and I just can't with them. But yeah, I have a love for people. I just don't have the energy for them. I read that. I looked up and saw the comment about Halloween. Sunny days. I'm late. Phone's ringing off the hook. Go answer it. Angelfish sent me some hearts. I've been taking Epsom salt baths and laying on my biomat. What's a biomat? I have to look that up. All kinds of aches and pains this week. Do I need a biomat? Is it going to take away my joint pain? If it is, I'll buy one. Today, hard walk, no food, beehive insides. Thank you, Santa. Yes, thank you, Santa, aka husband. He won't see me for a while when I get that new gift that I'm not supposed to know that I have. Okay, I'm going to drink some water. Hydrate, guys. Time to hydrate. Drink your water. H2O. Okay. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? I kind of feel like I'm a boring podcast today. I am not prepared. Did I read this already? You may have this strong feeling that you are somehow different. No, I didn't read that. So yeah, you may have this strong feeling that you are somehow different. I talked about that in the Starseed video the other day. A sense that everything in your life feels new and altered. That could be because you are new, your new soul coming here from another, galaxy, planet. I also talked about that in my Starseed video. Something feels new, altered, that you have left your old self behind. That's because you did, and you came here and incarnated. That's because you have. That's what I wrote. That's because you have. You're much greater than you can possibly imagine, and you are. And I want you guys to believe that. And I want you guys not I don't want you to believe it. I want you to know it. There's so much more to come because you are divine. All of you guys that are listening right now, you guys are gods. You're goddesses. You are all having a human experience. You are godlings, you're fractals of source, and you're here having a human experience. So what you're going through, it's because you contracted this. You needed to feel this. This is something that source wanted to experience, and you're a fractal of source coming down, having this experience. Best days in front of us. Yes. We are actually living some really awesome times. We are making cosmic history. What we're going through has never happened. This whole ascension has never happened. We're literally entering a new eon. I talked about that in video 1. A new age. We're leaving the age of Pisces, entering the age of Aquarius. We are becoming magical. A galaxy liaison. I love that. That is beautiful. Then I wrote, when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. That is so true, you guys. I may sometimes sound like a teacher when I'm talking and doing these videos, but I'm also a student. I am always learning. I'm always learning. I will always be a student. I might be a teacher for some, but I will always be a student. And I think that's how the saying goes. When a student is ready, the teacher will appear. Sounds like something Yoda would say, or, yeah. Teachers appear everywhere with perfect timing to help you on your spiritual journey. This is so true. People, books, movies, events, Mother Nature, etc., etc., etc. Teachers may appear to be negative sometimes, but not all the time, because they could become positive. The ego is the reason that you think that way. It's because you are trapped in this polarity thinking. But from a transcendent perspective, they're always perfect. The lesson will always be a blessing, even if it hurts and causes you pain or makes you angry. It's always teaching you something. It's a blessing in disguise. It's pushing you to shift. It's just what you need to learn so that you can move on, so that you can grow. By the way, we never get more than we can handle. I don't know if you've ever heard that. I used to get told that by my mother all the time. You only get what you can handle, because when I was in my 20s, I was going through so much, and my mom used to just always tell me, you know, she used to say, she didn't really talk about God, but she'd say like the angels and stuff will only give you what you can carry. Jared says, the things that I'm saying are resonating so much with me right now. You're definitely raising my vibration. Oh, thank you. I'm happy that I'm raising your vibration. That is awesome. If I'm raising your vibration, then I'm doing my job right. That's awesome. So yeah, we never get more than we can carry or handle, or master. Each challenge presents us with an opportunity to show our mastery in passing through it. And then I wrote, you find a spiritual track. And when I say track, I mean like YouTuber, or it could actually be an actual music track or channeler. But for the most part, I meant like you, because I'm talking to you guys on YouTube. So you guys may find the perfect YouTube channeler or speaker that makes sense to you and speaks to you at the most profound levels. It's kind of like a synchronicity right now. When Jared wrote that, and that was the next thing that I actually have written down on my laptop. Suddenly you're gaining a perspective that you would never have considered before. That is most likely why you guys are here listening to me. because you're gaining a different perspective, or you're resonating with my perspective some way, somehow. You will hunger to know more. So, you know, when you resonate with what I'm saying and I make you feel good, or I raise your vibration, that might give you guys the desire to want to research, to Google, to find other channelers, to learn more, so that you guys can, you know, grow spiritually. So, and also so that you guys can share, the information that you guys received with other people to raise their vibrations. This may also pique your interest to ask more questions and go inside to discover more about who you are and why you are here. So you guys seek the knowledge that resonates with you. Another sign that you're waking up is you are moving through personal issues and learning at a rapid pace. And you guys sense that you're catching on, like, oh, I get it. I get it. Now I know why this is happening to me, or I understand this aspect of my life. I finally get it. And the longer you're on this path, things that used to bug you or things that you didn't understand in life start to make sense. That's another reason why I tell you guys to journal, because journaling is like putting puzzle pieces out there. And when you go back to your journal and you read back 6 months to a year to 5 years, and you put all these pieces together, something might go ding, 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 and you're like, oh my God. And it might be just so random. So just keep remembering that things will come to you when they are ready to be healed, not sooner and not later, but in divine timing. Deal with whatever comes up, and deal with it with courage, and drop the fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So drop the fear. Deal with these things with courage. Be a lion, not a sheep. And you'll move through these issues very quickly. My favorite subject is the next thing that you guys may experience. Not all people experience this, but a lot of people do. And this is one of my favorite subjects, is paranormal activity and alien contact. A lot of people that are going through their awakening, they may experience paranormal activity, alien, like UFO stuff, or they might become very interested in that kind of stuff. Some people, there's actually a lot of people that I know that don't believe in any of this. They consider it to be nonsense, or in this community they call it woo-woo. I don't like that term, but they consider it to be woo-woo. Some people that do experience this, they may report feeling surrounded by beings, not human beings, but beings, creatures, aliens. And all of this happens, it usually happens to them at night. Or they may feel like they're having the sensation that they're being touched, or that somebody is, like when you're drifting off to sleep and you feel somebody talk to, have you ever done that? Like you drifted off to sleep and somebody like asked you a question or said your name and you're like, blah, 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 what? And you get up and there's like nobody there, or your spouse or whoever you're laying next to is sleeping and you're like, what the hell? What was that? That could have been them trying to talk to you, and you were in that perfect state of mind for that communication to come through. You were in that vibration for you to get it, and then you just like became conscious, and then boom, that, you snapped out of that vibration. What else? Some people may also feel their body vibrate. My body is actually doing that right now, but it's because I'm shivering. I'm so cold. I don't know why. My house is warm, but my body temperature is really cold right now. The vibrations are caused by these energetic changes after emotional clearing has taken place. Some people may see UFOs. I'm one of those people. I shared my video on YouTube. It happened about 2 months ago. I forgot what I titled it, but I caught a few somethings in the sky. If you guys are curious, you'll just have to go through the feed, my channel. It says something about something in the sky. If I have time tomorrow, maybe I'll link it to this. But yeah, I caught something and I reported it to MUFON. And they actually called me back and did an interview with me. So some people may see things like UFOs or strange things in the sky. Some people will even see shadow people. I see shadow people. Or they might see shadows move in the corner of their eyes. Some people witness poltergeist activity. I actually have witnessed poltergeist activity too. That's why this is my favorite subject. I have poltergeist activity shared on my YouTube channel in my playlist under Orbs, but I don't remember which year it was. Orbs 2017 or 2018. I have in one of the videos, it's somebody pushed Frosty off the table. I have cameras. I had cameras in the house, in my old house, and it caught Frosty, a little stuffed animal, a Frosty the Snowman stuffed animal, slide across the table off to the floor. It was crazy. I was psyched that the camera picked that up. What else? This is a little bit of a sensitive topic. Some people are too scared to open up to this aspect of themselves. Um, the seeing aspect, when they see things. They don't like to talk about it because they don't want people to think they're crazy or, whatever the case may be. So if paranormal activity is happening in your life, that's the reason why I created this YouTube channel in the first place. It was actually called Gabrielle Garcia Orbs because I was capturing orb activity and paranormal activity around the house. I was doing EVPs and stuff like that. And I created the channel so people that were like me had a place to go to share what is going on with their life, and had a place to go to ask questions, because I did not want anybody to be treated the way I was treated when I was seeing spirits and witnessing things and shadow people and stuff like that. I had nobody to talk to because everybody just said I was crazy, and I didn't like that. So I created this platform so people can be open to what's going on, and have other people, like-minded people, share their experiences so that they can feel comfortable, so that they can know they're not crazy. So that's why I say that this may be a sensitive topic to some people. So if you're one of those people that has things happening to you, you guys can leave a comment on here. You guys can email me. My email is usually on the bottom of most of my videos. You can find me on Instagram. You can DM me. My name on Instagram is witchyvibes11. And you can always hit me up and say, hey, Gabby, I experienced this and I'm scared, or whatever the case may be. And I will not call you crazy. I won't even think that you're crazy. And if for whatever reason any of this is happening to you and you feel scared, just know nothing can harm you. Not while you're in this physical body. Nothing can harm you. You have the power to make it all stop and go away. You just say stop or go away. Or you could call upon Archangel Michael. That's who I call upon. You can call upon Archangel Michael and, ask him to, make it stop. Also, you could bless your space. You can protect yourself by smudging your space. And when I say smudging your space, you can buy sage, light sage up and smudge your house. If you feel like you have a lot of negative energy in your house, you can smudge your house, and it will release that negative energy. Another thing, a lot of people that are in this spiritual community that are waking up, they're sharing this side effect, this, I don't want to say symptom, it's not really a symptom, this thing that happens. They have this increase of synchronicities, visions, illusions, numbers, symbols, seeing things that have spiritual meaning or importance for you. People tend to Google the meanings, like for instance, everything has a generic meaning, like 11:11 has a generic meaning, 9/11 has a generic meaning, seeing a fox has a generic meaning. But if you are seeing things that just keep popping up, that are very synchronistic in your timeline, write it down, document it, journal it. This will help. This will help you understand what it all means for you. Not right away, but over time it will help you understand. It's like puzzle pieces. I'm going to keep saying that until you guys remember. It's like a puzzle piece. You have to do the work. Your path is individual. We all experience, or we all may experience the same or similar symptoms or things, but the meanings to those things are not the same for all of us. Even though they have a generic meaning, it doesn't mean the same for all of us. For instance, you may start to notice how numbers appear synchronistically in your awareness. The number 11, a lot of people see 11, like 1111. 11 is a master number. It's a portal. It's knowledge. It's awareness. It's an activation. But what does it mean for you? It could mean all those things for you, but there's a deeper meaning. What does it mean for you? Journal, write it down. I saw the number 11. It was December 17th. And, write as much detail about your life as you can. What were you thinking? What were you doing? How were you feeling? Write everything. Just document everything. All of that is very important. Knowing all of that is very important. And it will eventually give you the information of what it means for you. Because 11 doesn't mean what it means for somebody else generically, because most people believe that it's something else. I don't believe that that's what it is for me. So just document it. Everything has a message. If you just have to take the time to look into it and do the work. I actually enjoy the experience of getting these messages. I enjoy doing the work because when it resonates with me, it makes me really happy. I'm going to hydrate. Hold on, guys. Trying to see who's on. Oh, I got 14 people. Hello, 14 people. We have Jared, Angelfish. Let's stick to the landing. I notice you have 11 in your name. How powerful are those numbers? They're very powerful. Awesome topics. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of the times the puzzle pieces that I'm searching for come my way via passenger. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm just reading your guys' comments. Sunny says, I've had 3 vivid craft dreams in the past 2 months. Maybe they weren't dreams. Maybe you were really there. You were traveling. Angelfish sees tons. You see tons of UFOs? I'm constantly seeing things on the side of my vision in your peripheral. Usually when you're first starting to go through your awakening, or not even when you're going through your awakening, when you're first activating your clairvoyance, it's usually how it happens. It kind of just like starts by popping up in your peripheral vision. You kind of have to teach yourself how to look at these things head on using your third eye, because your 2 physical eyes are not capable of actually seeing it until you activate your third eye. I don't like shadow people. So Callie Trail says, I don't like shadow people. I seen a creepy one recently that was crawling on the floor of the bedroom. I seen from the bathroom mirror. Oof, that sounds creepy. You can always just tell it to go away. But you know what I've learned by channeling spirit is sometimes they come to us creepy because they need help. And they end up becoming more creepy and scary when we ignore them. And when I say we, I mean the people that are like a beacon of light. If you're seeing spirit, stuff like that, it's because you're a beacon of light. You are a seer. And my advice to you is to learn how to see these things and learn how to communicate. But if you're scared, then don't activate it. Because they can feed off of fear. Even if they're not demonic, they can feed off of fear. It will energize them. Hello, Bravery. Nubian Priestess. Hello. Hi, Phil. Oh, thank you. Glad I made it. I'm glad you made it too. That is awesome. Love the 8, infinite abundance. I love it. See, like for me, the number 8 would mean like infinity and abundance. It's an earth sign. But to somebody else, it might mean something else. Is my cat astral traveling when she sleeps? I believe so. I believe they do it too. Yes, on Instagram, I am Witchy Vibes 11. Shuristi, did I say your name right? Is anyone feeling nauseous today? I wasn't feeling nauseous today, but I was feeling nauseous yesterday. It also means balancing spirit and material worlds. Yes, see how the numbers mean different things. There's always a generic meaning, but there's always a more, oh, what am I trying to say? Deeper meaning. There's a lot of these things have a lot of meanings, and it just, whatever resonates with you, go with that. Okay, so I'm going back. I'm going to look at my notes again. Another thing that pops up for a lot of us as we're going through our awakening is truth awareness. You realize that it's time for you to seek and speak your truth. It suddenly seems really, really important for you to become more authentic. And when you're authentic, you are more like you are yourself. You're more like yourself, like how you should be. And when you are coming into the truth or your truth, you have to learn how to say no to people. Because a lot of us are light workers, and light workers are always trying to help people, and they don't know how to say no. And we're people pleasers. I've had to learn how to say no, and I've had to learn how to say no to the hardest people in my life, like family, my children. I have older children. I have an older son and an older daughter, and I have had to learn to say no to them. I've had to learn how to say no to people at work, to make their job easier. I would feel bad, and so I would be like, yeah, I'll do it. Just leave it there. And I would exhaust myself for these people. I don't know why I did it. It's just like I wanted to be there for everybody. So I've had to learn how to say no. I've had to learn, and it's not easy, especially people that seem helpless, but you know that they can do things, but you feel bad for them. So you don't really say no to them. It's really hard for me to say no to them, but I'm learning, and it feels better. This is important for you to grow. You have to learn to say no so you can grow. You may find it intolerable to stay in a marriage or a job or a place that doesn't support who you are. Standing in your truth will challenge you, and it will challenge you. You may also find yourself, or not yourself, you may also find that there's nowhere to hide, no secrets. Honesty becomes important in all of your relationships. All of your relationships, okay? That's the key word. All of your relationships. Listen to your heart. If your guidance tells you not to do something, don't do it. Listen to your higher self. Again, your higher self is you. It's your future you. Your future you will never mislead you. So if your guidance is your future you or your divine spiritual team telling you not to do something, don't do it. Speak up and take action and say no. You must also say yes to what compels you. You must risk displeasing others without guilt in order to attain spiritual sovereignty. Stand in your truth, and you will feel free when you do this. So I challenge you guys to say no when you really want to say yes. Say no. It's going to make you feel a little bit guilty, but it's going to make you feel really good too, because you really wanted to say no. And when you feel that really good feeling after the guilt passes, you're going to want to say no more to people that you normally say yes to. Hi, Mike. Merry Christmas. Um, Harmony with seasons and cycles. So I talked about this a little while ago when I was telling you guys about me moving from New York City to the country and how I, started to love nature and do my nature walks and stuff like that, the Walk of Gratitude, inspired by Greg Prescott. Harmony with the seasons and cycles is something that I was very in tune to. I felt this harmony really strong. I fell into this harmony in about 2017, and it really helped that I moved to the country. In 2017, it was like I had to, walk on the docks, sit down by the water, lay down on the docks, take pictures of the sun. I mean, like, I was doing this like all the time. I even had my videos. I was even doing my videos, my older videos. If you watch my older videos, you'll see that I was doing them down there on the docks. I was just getting out of the house. I was always in nature. And that was about 2017. And it helped. When you feel this harmony with the seasons, you are becoming more tuned to the seasons, the phases of the moon and the natural cycles, more awareness of your place in the world, a stronger connection to the earth. It's a beautiful experience. I challenge you guys to do that. Get out there into nature and do a walk of gratitude. You will start to feel more love for the planet. You'll start to protect Gaia. Gaia is the earth. You'd protect her as if she was your mother or your daughter. You might find yourself picking up trash, when people are throwing their garbage out their windows. You might find yourself just randomly walking by, I don't know, like the graveyard and picking up trash, or walking down by the pier or the docks or wherever you guys walk or whatever's around you. You might find yourself just picking up trash because you're like wanting to protect Earth and make it beautiful and healthy. You'll start to see her beauty, and not just her beauty, you will also see her wrath and the beauty in her wrath. Nature and animals will become your friends. It's like becoming one with her. It's a really beautiful experience, and I hope that you will all be able to feel this love. Another thing that I wrote here that I experience is, which is it's an odd side effect that I experience, is electrical and mechanical malfunctions. I don't know if everybody experiences this. When you're around like light bulbs, they flicker. I don't know if anybody's had that experience before. When this was first happening to me, I thought it was spirit trying to get my attention by making lights flicker, until I realized I was doing this. My energy field was doing this. I've blown out bulbs in my hallway, not like dramatically, like whoosh, and glass was all over the place, but like they would blow. They would just blow. I would be in the bathroom putting my makeup on, and the light would flicker, and then it would just blow out. So I started to experiment with this, with my energy around my body. I would experiment. Once I knew that it was me doing this, I started to experiment. And I could make lights flicker if I focused hard enough. And what I would do is I would drift off, and I call this drifting off into the void. When you're not really thinking of anything, it's kind of like, for me, it's literally like drifting off into the void, into like a nothing. And that's when the lights would start to flicker. I wouldn't be thinking, I wouldn't be doing anything, but I wouldn't be focused that I'm doing it. I would just drift off. And then that's when they would start to flicker. It would also happen when I was meditating. Computers, cell phones, I go through a whole shit ton of computers, laptops. This laptop right here, oh my God, my husband says I break everything. My cell phones, I break them all. Not on purpose. They always freeze up on me, or I don't know, like the hard drive dies. They just like, they go dead. They die. They glitch, they freeze. Sometimes if I'm by the radio and I'm having that energy around my body get really strong. I don't know what builds it up. I don't know if meditating builds it up. I'm not quite sure, because sometimes I can make these things flicker and I'm not drifting off into the void. It just happens. Like the radio will just go fuzzy, like it's, out of tune. The silence outside my winter. Why don't the comments never stay long enough for me to read them? Would you write the silence outside in winter after a fresh snowfall is my favorite? Yes. That's kind of how a recording studio, a recording booth sounds like that. Where did I leave off here? So if you are experiencing any of this, like the lights flickering around you, don't automatically just think it's spirit. Don't fear it. Don't fear this. It's your energetic field, and it's just growing stronger. I think that like eating clean and being positive and holding a high vibration, meditating, and for me, yoga, I think that's why my energy field grows stronger. I don't know if that would if that would work for everybody. I mean, I wouldn't see why it wouldn't, but that's for me, just by me, I'm sharing with you guys my experience, my journey, and this is my perspective. So for me, I think that that's what makes my energy field grow stronger. So if this is happening to you, just embrace it and learn to experiment or play around with it. Don't automatically fear it. Drop the fear. Anything that's happening around you that you guys think is scary, like paranormal or anything like that, don't fear it. Just try to understand it. Try to embrace it. I know I spoke about synchronicities, messages, synchronicities, little miracles happening, or manifestations coming to fruition. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. These events tell you if you are heading in the right direction. I know I spoke a little bit about synchronicities a few moments ago. So when you see these things popping up in your life, it's because they're messages from your higher self or from your divine spiritual team telling you that you're on the right direction or trying to guide you to the right direction. They're trying to guide you to make the correct choices. You have free will. They can't really get involved, but they're always sending you messages. So honor these clues, learn to see and listen, work on your awareness. Spirit uses synchronicity to communicate to you. That's when you begin to experience miracles and messages. For instance, I see hearts, and I share this all the time with you guys. I'm always posting them on my Instagram. When I'm on the right path, or I'm doing good, or my vibration is where it should be, I receive these little messages from Spirit. Go ahead, you can walk by. Oh. It's my daughter. You receive these little messages from Spirit, or I do. I receive them by receiving hearts, and I'll receive them in the weirdest ways. And I always show you guys on my Instagram. It's so crazy how I see the hearts. Sometimes when I ask for guidance, or I ask for a message, or to give me a sign, all of a sudden a heart will appear, or a feather, or a penny, or a face on a rock, or a face on the floor. All of that means something for me, and I know that because I journal. And I know what each thing means for me, and they're all personal reasons for me. Some of them is, some of it comes from the angelic realm. Some of them come through certain loved ones that passed away, and some of them come through my divine spiritual team, ancestors, such. I also see, she walked by and I lost my place. Oh, I also see hawks and blue jays. Hawks and blue jays mean something personal for me, and so do cardinals. So pay attention if you see animals, certain animals that pop up, like if you're driving and a fox runs across the road, that fox has a message for you. Um, if you drive by a cat and the cat is orange, that orange cat has a message for you. If you are, I don't know, swimming in a pool and that lizard runs by, that lizard has a message for you. Talking about animals, I talked about the bat at the beginning of all of this, on part one of this. I did part one yesterday, for those of you that are new. I see I got 19 people in the chat room. Hey! Hello, all 19. So there's other things that I talked about yesterday, but my iPad died, so I had to cut my live short. But it was like a 2-hour live. Fear is the mind killer. Yes, it is. Release the fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's an illusion. It's an illusion, you guys. Drop the fear. Another sign that you are waking into your power is increased intuitive abilities and altered states of consciousness. Thinking of someone, for instance, thinking of someone and all of a sudden, bam, they text you, or they hit you up on your DM, or they call you. That's you tapping in, tuning in. Experiencing an increase of synchronicities, having sudden insights about patterns or events from the past. Clairvoyance is seeing out-of-body experiences and other psychic phenomena. Intensified sensitivity and knowing, awareness of one's essence, channeling, becoming stronger. These are all signs that you are awakening into your power. If these things are happening to you, I suggest that you seek the knowledge to learn more about these things. I mean, I have a lot of things on my YouTube channel that I talk about that, will help you. And there's a lot of people that, are part of my soul family that talk about these things that are also on my channel. If you visit Phil, he's here in the comments right now. He talks a lot about energy and, spirit stuff. He has a really cool channel and he's very knowledgeable. You guys can follow The Glitch. He's very knowledgeable. If you're into light language and healing, you can go check out Fairy's page. I mean, there's so many people on here that, teach and talk about so much stuff. You just have to kind of scroll through our YouTube platform and search for the information that you're looking for. Usually your higher self will just guide you to the information. He said, yeah, Phil, and he was looking right at me. I might have missed something. I'll read that. I'll read the comments in a little bit. When you're channeling, becomes stronger, you'll be able to communicate with spirit. You have to work on it. But when you become stronger at channeling, you will be able to communicate with spirit and angels, spirit guides, and other divine entities. There's so many things that you can, or so many beings and creatures that you can channel in, and so many realms you can tap into. Everyone can channel. You just have to work on the connection. We are all divine. We are all gods and goddesses because we were created by source. A God created you. So you have God abilities. You just have to tap into those abilities. You are a fractal of source. So we all have these abilities. You just have to learn how to tap in. It seems like more and more people are waking up and more people are starting to tap into a lot of these abilities. Once you get a taste of channeling, You will start to feel inspired, and then you will start to download information. And some people channel that information in different ways, and it could take forms as in writing, painting, random ideas, communication, dance. Some people channel this information by doing this thing called oh my god, what's it called? Light language. And they do this like dance, and then they talk, kind of like when people are in church and they catch the Holy Ghost and they talk. It's kind of like oh my gosh, when I said that, I heard like a weird high something in my headphones. That was weird. Light language. Let's see here. I'm just reading my notes. This connection with spirit will enhance your sense of oneness with all, a direct experience of this wholeness. You may experience floods of emotions. You may become flooded with compassion. I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of this video. With love for all life. You may cry for no reason. I talked about this in part 1. I was talking about crying, seeing a kitten video and you just cry for no reason. But you don't have to see anything to cry. I've there's been plenty of times I've sat here on the couch, TV off, nobody's here, and I just got this real, like this wave of emotion that hit me, and I just got really sad and had tears rolling down my face for no reason. So you just cry. You cry when you see a butterfly or a kitten, like I just said, or when you see a little tiny baby tree growing. You cry because you're like, oh, you see the beauty in it. It's like when you wake up and you become aware and you become conscious, everything is beautiful, and you're grateful, and you feel this joy. I can't even explain it, because if you're not on that level, it's really hard to explain. But for those of you that are on that level, totally understand what I'm talking about. It's like, it's the little things that mean so much. And they have this deep emotional, you feel this deep emotional connection to everything, to mankind, animals, nature. Everything will just get you right there, especially when you witness somebody doing a random act of kindness, like maybe feeding a homeless man or homeless girl will really, get you, make you be like, oh, because you can feel the love in that unconditional love. Unconditional love for all is what lifts us up to higher levels of consciousness and joy. You'll most likely start to experience more moments of joy and bliss as you wake up, a deep sense of peace and knowing that you are never alone. Even when you're alone, you're never really alone. You always have your divine spiritual team with you. These shifts will help you integrate. You will most likely become emotionally, psychologically, physically, and spiritually stronger and clearer as you become aligned with your higher self. You'll start to live your purpose. It will become habit. You'll know you are living your purpose when living on earth becomes fun, joyful, and beautiful, and you start to feel harmony. New skills and gifts will start to emerge, especially healing ones. Your life work experiences will start converging and start to make more sense in your life. Listen to your heart. Your passion and desire will lead you to where you need to go. You can at any time go within and just ask your higher self for guidance. And your higher self will lead you to where you need to be. But you have to ask. These connections will have you feeling closer to animals, closer to nature, plants, like I just mentioned a few moments ago. If you're anything like me, animals seem to be more human in their behavior. Even wild animals are more human in their behavior, and they're less afraid of you. You'll start to see them coming up to you. I mean, I just moved to this house a couple months ago, and I have blue jays calling out to me. I know that they want to eat because they'll literally come to the windows and they'll be like making these loud noises. They kind of sound like hawks. They're really loud. And they're like, feed me. And they come to the window and they're like, I'm, I'm your flying cat. Feed me. They want their peanuts. I mean, my cat, Minerva, she's like a little human. She's like a little human in a furry body. I swear she's like, uh, I swear she must have been human in her past life. She understands. She like, you could talk to her and you can ask her where her cookies are and she'll jump off the couch and run into the kitchen and sit in front of the cupboard that her cookies are in. It's like she knows. She understands. And not just animals, my plants. I don't know if you've ever seen, if you're on my Instagram, you've seen my house and my plants in my living room. My plants respond to my love. They heal me because I take care of them. So during this past week when I wasn't feeling well and I was experiencing those really wicked bad migraines, I I would wander off into the back bedroom or I went upstairs to go to bed because I was trying to get comfortable, and I kept getting led back into the living room. There was a moment that I laid under the Christmas tree and I just laid there and I just felt like this calming feeling for a few moments. I slept in the living room, even though my sofa is so uncomfortable. I slept in the living room. And when I did, I felt better. You know why? Because my plants are all behind me. My plants were helping me like I helped them. They were helping me detox. Whatever was going on inside my body, they were helping me through this detox process. Plants are beings. They're not human beings, but they're beings. And if you don't believe me, record your plants. Record them for 24 hours and watch them on playback. Do the replay in a faster speed. And you will see how alive and precious your plants truly are. They move around a lot. They move, turn, twist. It's like I don't know, they're alive. They're definitely alive. I love my plants. I have so many. You start to wake up spiritually or more consciously. This is another side effect. As you start to wake up spiritually or more consciously, you may start to see beings from other dimensions. I spoke about this a little bit earlier in this video and also in part 1. The veil between the dimensions is so thin. I know that people always say this. I mean, for years I've been hearing this. Oh, the veil is so thin. It's so thin. It's so thin. I'm like, how much thinner can I get? And it's like cellophane thin. Like, I'm almost convinced there is no veil. You just have to activate your third eye to see it. So just stay in your sovereignty. Know that nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. And also, if you're worried about demonic stuff, I mean, I don't even pay attention to that. My perspective, I believe that demons can only harm you if you're in a low vibration. So if you are going through some shit in your life and you're stressed and you're worried and maybe you went through a divorce or a breakup and your vibration level is low and you're crying and you're doing the whole I'm the victim woe is me thing, then yeah, you're opening yourself up to lower dimensional beings, aka demons, to come in and wreak havoc on you. But if you have a high vibration, those lower entities cannot harm you. But in general, if you're having spirit activity around you, they can't harm you either. Even they can go push that Frosty over right there. Yeah, they can push him over to try to scare the shit out of me because they're trying to get me into that fear so that they can feed off of that fear so they can energize. But that most likely won't happen if you have a high vibration. And if it did happen, all you have to say is, get out of my house or leave me alone. You have power over them. You are more powerful than you can ever imagine, especially that you're in this body. You're so powerful, you just don't know. The powers that be out there, they never taught any of us how to stand in our power and how to be sovereign. They taught us how to be faithful little sheep. Just follow the herd. Stay in your herd and follow it. They didn't teach you how to be spiritual and all that. They didn't teach you how to activate your third eye. They didn't teach you any of that. You know why? Because they don't want you to know how powerful you are. So don't fear, you know, the lower dimensional beings. Don't fear them. Don't entertain the fear. Lower dimensional beings can become more powerful when you exert fear, but not like powerful where they can hurt you and like kill you or anything like that. They just scare you so that they can feed off of you. It charges them. Ask your angels or your divine spiritual team or God or source or creator, or whoever you believe in or whatever deity you believe in. Ask them for their help, and they'll help you. Also, clairvoyance, seeing, may also, seeing with your third eye, will allow you to see a person's true identity. You may see a person's true form or see a loved one with a different face, like a different body, like a shape, a different form. If your third eye is activated, you may recognize them. What you're doing is you may be recognizing them from the past. And when I say past, like a past life, their past life, the energy that you remembered them from another world or galaxy or past lifetime. You're seeing them in that spirit form through your third eye. And I guess that could be more of an advanced side effect or symptom that would happen to you when you're waking up. This is definitely not something that would happen to you at the very beginning. I mean, unless you're a very powerful person and you're kind of aware that you are powerful in a way, you just don't understand it, then yeah, I can see how those things would show up and it would freak you out. What else did I write here? Your ability to manifest thoughts and desires physically will become stronger and faster and more efficiently. I lost my place. I wrote, always pay attention to what you say and monitor your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts think for you. You are your thoughts. Be careful what you ask for or what you say. The universe has no empathy filter. You literally get what you ask for. And it may not be what you were asking for. So be very clear when you're asking for something or you're saying something, especially if you're manifesting something. Be very detailed with what you're saying when you're trying to manifest, because you can ask for something and you'll get it. You'll get it exactly the way you asked for it. And the universe will be like, well, that's how you asked for it. You weren't detailed. So let's move on to talking about our brain. Our brain, another symptom is brain fog, which is left brain fogginess, which is brain fog. Your psychic abilities, your intuitive knowing, your feeling and compassion, your ability to experience your body, your visioning, your expressiveness will all emanate from the right brain. When I was having the bad migraines these last couple of days, they were all on the right side of my head. And I was seeing and experiencing strange worlds. And I shared this with a few people that were checking on me the last couple of days when I was going through hell, because that's what it felt like. It literally felt like my brain was trying to liquefy. I was even hallucinating. I don't think I was hallucinating, but that's in my 3D self talking to you guys, is I was hallucinating. It felt like I was hallucinating, but I was really seeing some crazy shit, you guys. I was going through a lot. I was experiencing different worlds, different dimensions. And, what I was doing is I was tapping into the ability of that side of my brain. And because we don't really tap into it that fluidly, it was like all of this stuff was flooding out to me and I didn't understand it. That's what was happening to me. I was just getting like an overload of abilities that I have all at once. And it was just like, whoa, what's that? Like, what's going on? What's happening to me? What am I seeing? Is that real? It was all crazy. I was just tapping into that side of my brain. It was being activated. And again, I shared my experiences with a few of, I don't know if you guys are still watching, a few of you that I share my experience with. I know Morgan was one of them. I shared my experiences with her. Um, so in order for this side of the brain to develop more fully, the left side of the brain must shut down. Not completely, just shut down a little bit. Normally the left hemisphere capacity, the left hemisphere's capacity for order, organization, structure, linear sequencing, analysis, evaluation, precision, focus, problem solving, and mathematics dominates our often less valued right brain. And I totally shut that side down for like 4 days because my migraines were so bad that I didn't even have the ability to use that side of my brain. So I was just functioning off of my right side. I was in so much pain I was unable to think. Therefore, I was all right side for 4 days and was lost in other worlds. At least that's how I felt. I felt lost in other worlds. It felt amazing. I wasn't scared. It felt amazing. It felt like somebody gave me some really good fucking drugs. And I don't take drugs, but it felt like I did. And it felt like I was just like, woo, I was out there. And I was experiencing a lot of stuff. Um, I must sound crazy, especially for people that don't normally listen to my videos or talk to me in person. But yeah, I felt like I was out there. I was all right side. I even had a few out of body experiences when I was having those migraines. But when I came back, my head throbbed, like when I snapped out of that right side and I snapped back into like reality, I snapped back in having the worst fucking headache that you could ever imagine. It was so bad, you guys. It was so bad. When I tell you bad, I mean on a scale from 1 to 10, it was 100. It was bad. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. And I've never had a migraine that bad. Let me tell you how bad it was. There was one point that it was so bad that when I opened my eyes, the room was like like somebody had a strobe light in the room and the walls were wiggling and were doing some weird stuff. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with my eyes? What's wrong with my head? I thought I had like brain damage or something. It was bad. I'm glad I don't have brain damage. But I don't know. I feel really bad for people that normally get migraines like that on the regular. I send them healing because I think I'd rather have my back hurt than my head hurt. What results from all of this is, or could be, memory loss or memory lapses, not complete memory loss, but memory lapses, placing words in the wrong sequence, inability or no desire to read for a long period of time, inability to focus, forgetting what you were just about to say. That happens to me a lot, actually, not just when I have migraines, but a lot. Impatience with linear forms of communication, audio or written formats, a feeling of spiciness, or not spicy, spacey. Woo, spaciness, not spicy, you guys, spacey. Yep, I'm spacey. A feeling of spiciness. So a feeling of spaciness, feeling spacey. I was really spacey for a couple of days. I was standing in the middle of the room at one point on day 2 of my head hurting. I was like I got out of bed and I was standing in the room. My husband says, he must have been watching me. He goes, what are you doing? You okay? And then I just like kind of snapped out of whatever I was doing, standing there. And he snapped me back into reality and I just like went back to bed. So those are all symptoms of what it feels like when your left side of the brain shuts down and your right side of the brain is activated. You may experience all that stuff. So that's what I was talking about. So I was a bit scattered. And if you're anything like me, left brain fogginess, aka brain fog. You may feel bombarded with words and questions and people talking and a reluctance to write or type or do anything. You're just kind of like the, and I'm like that a lot. And it's because of the activation of the right side of the brain. Sometimes you just feel dull and have no interest in analysis. At least that's how I feel. Or dull to have any intellectual discussions. I was definitely dull these last couple of days. No discussions. I didn't want to talk to nobody. On the other hand, you might find yourself drawn to videos and magazines with like pictures, photos, artwork, movies. You might be drawn to music, painting, paintings, and if you don't have a headache, you may even enjoy being with people and do people stuff. Um, when I'm thinking about peopling and being with people to have fun, my new thing now is to envision people that are kind of like hippies. I see these people like dressed like hippies, uh, you know, banging on drums and dancing around like little hippies. Or like that. I don't know. I guess I don't know if that's what hippies do, but that's what I envision hippies doing. My parents are total hippies. My mom is one of those people that, dances in drum circles. So maybe it's just what I'm seeing, what I'm remembering her doing when I was little and going to, she used to call, when hippies get together and they celebrate, we would go to these places, these events, and they would be called hoot nannies. So it would be a bunch of hippies at a hoot nanny dancing around in drum circles, and little kids would be like playing in mud and stuff. Back then, though, I was young and I thought it was stupid, and I was like, I'm not dancing in a circle with drums, and I'm not playing in mud. Mud is dirty, ew. And now that I'm older and more woke, it's like, man, I wish I can go back to those days. So yeah, I envision hippies and sovereign people just dancing and having fun and, standing in their truth and being sovereign and just mingling in the energy of love, mingling in the energy of the right side of the brain. When you're tapped into the right side of the brain, you may do things like, you may be interested in doing things like gardening, walking, meditating, or searching for spiritual content on YouTube, and poof, that's how you found me. Witchy Vibes 11. So you may discover that you allow your heart and your right brain to lead you. If you do that, eventually the left side of the brain will be activated appropriately to support you, and it'll balance everything out. This is what you call being in alignment and feeling balanced using both hemispheres of your brain. I gotta drink some water. Wow, 133 minutes, you guys. That's a freaking record. Who's still with me? I lose people, I gain people, I lose people, I gain people. I still have Phil here, I think. I have Mike. Orbicon. Did I say your name right? Orbicon. I have Clark. Clark is here. Angel. I think Angel's still here. Angelfish. Nubian Priestess. I don't know who else is here. It says I have 13 people. No, I have 14 people. 15 people. I got some more people. The numbers keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. People are signing in, signing out, signing in, signing out. Still with you. Hello. Good, good. Hope I'm not boring you guys. I'm just over here talking. Okay, so another symptom that you guys may experience as you go through this awakening or this ascension, or even when these energy waves and during these shifts and stuff like that, when they happen, these are all things that you may experience. So another symptom to all this may be activated is tapping into your abilities, or when energy comes in, or when you receive downloads from source or solar energy and stuff like that. You may experience, and I know somebody wrote earlier that they were feeling dizzy. So you may experience dizziness and vertigo, and the Schumann was actually activated. There was some activity on the Schumann resonance last night. I don't know what the activity is today because I haven't checked it, but I do know there was activity yesterday. There was solar activity. So that is to be expected. So if you are ever feeling those symptoms, you may want to check out Ascension Diaries. You could check out Phil. Phil talks about that stuff. He's in the chat room right now. Phil, say hello so they can come to your channel. If you can, link your channel to the chat. If any of you guys have a YouTube channel, link your channel to the chat so other people can follow you and see if they resonate with you. So yeah, if you're feeling that dizziness feeling or sensation or that vertigo, it's a possibility that there is energy coming into Gaia and it's affecting your energy field. It's affecting you. It's throwing you off balance. Ascension Diaries really goes into detail. I really enjoy her channel. Now, when you're experiencing this dizziness and this vertigo, this occurs when you are ungrounded. Your body is adjusting to the light coming in, or it's adjusting to your lighter state or new light that entered your being. I would advise you to learn how to ground yourself by eating clean. That's a good way to ground yourself. Andrew Bartos told me to eat more proteins. And I forgot how much he told me. I don't know if he said 14 grams or 40 grams, but he definitely told me to eat more protein, and that would help me. Sometimes junk food feels good, just don't overdo it. If your body wants candy, give it candy. If your body wants a Jolly Rancher, give it a Jolly Rancher. If your body wants a candy bar, let it eat a candy bar. But I mean, just like don't overdo it. I know I tell you guys a lot, stay away from sugar, don't eat junk food, but also don't deny your body what it's asking for. If you're not doing it all the time, it's not going to hurt you to do it sometimes. Okay? So if your body's asking for it, just, give in and let your body have that candy bar. If you're a vegan and you don't eat meat or whatever, and all of a sudden you're craving, like, I don't know, a chicken wing or something, eat the damn chicken wing. It's not going to kill you. It won't kill you, I promise. So don't let the cliche gurus get into your head too much. Remember, this path is individual. Follow what your body is requesting. Okay, if somebody's telling you, oh, you only can eat clean to go through the spiritual awakening and you must only drink water and it has to be like Fiji water or Fuji water or whatever that water is called and blah, blah, blah. And they're making all these recommendations. I mean, that's wrong. They should not be telling you that. They should be telling you to follow what your body wants. They should recommend certain things. They can advise certain things, but they shouldn't tell you. You should always just follow we all have different body types and all of our bodies need different things. We're all on individual paths. We all came here to have an experience. So my experience is different from your experience. And to get me through to that next level, I may need to eat a damn candy bar. So I'm going to eat it. So yeah, don't let those gurus get into your head and talk all that shit and tell you that you have to do it this way or you're doing it the wrong way. That's bullshit. This path is individual, so follow what your body is requesting. Sometimes it needs that sugar for the process or the greens or the fruits or the dairy or the meat or the alcohol, even alcohol. If it's asking for it, give it to it. Give in to it. You are in control. Remember that. Eating is a way to ground yourself as these energy waves come in. At the beginning of the week, before my headache started, I was really hungry. I was eating like a cow. I mean, like I ate everything. Anything and everything that looked good, I ate it. And I was like, damn, where's this food going? Because I am eating it. And then it dawned on me, I needed to be grounded. And then it dawned on me, oh, all these shifts are taking place. That's why I need to be grounded. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now in December. So I must have not been grounded. So my body was starting to build a defense for me. And it was like, eat, eat, eat. You need to ground. And I talked about this too yesterday in part one video, in the part of the video about gaining weight and losing weight. So I needed to ground myself as I was frolicking around in other worlds, having my hallucinations, being all right brain. I was also going outside and taking off my shoes to put my feet, on the grass for a few seconds, even though it's cold as hell because it's snowy here. But I mean, you got to ground yourself. Somebody sent me, I had a subscriber make me a grounding wire. It's this wire with this copper at the end of it. And I still have it. I've never used it because I'm so afraid to plug it in and get shocked. But when I was Googling grounding wires and grounding pads, it literally almost resembles the same thing. I'm just really scared to try it because I don't want to get shocked because my mom gave me some Christmas lights and I didn't know that there was a bulb broken and I plugged it in and it shocked the shit out of me. What did you write? Let me see. I was trying to read your comment before it disappeared. You're going to push ahead on diet upgrades. I don't have them often, only when big shifts are happening, but they are excruciating when they do occur. If you're talking about headaches, absolutely. Phil says the Schumann resonance amplitude is at a lower of 20. The frequency average is 7.48 hertz. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, so that's another way to ground yourself is by going outside and taking off your shoes. I did that. I'm here in New York, so it's cold out. So I only went out there for a few minutes. I just kind of like took my shoes off, walked outside, stood there for a second, said, okay, I touched the ground, and I came back inside because my feet were cold. I forgot to mention, left brain fogginess makes you a bit clumsy. So if you are left brain, or if you're experiencing that brain fog or left brain fogginess, one of the side effects of experiencing that is being clumsy, and being ungrounded makes you clumsy too. Means you're out of balance and you may tend to fall down a lot, trip a lot, drop things, have more accidents, hurt yourself by even breaking a bone or spraining your ankle or spraining your wrist or spraining something, or your body may be telling you to slow down. It's also another way for your body when you're feeling clumsy or being clumsy is your body's way of saying, hey, take it easy, you need to slow down. So, if you're experiencing, things like that, being clumsy, tripping, falling, doing things that seem stupid and accidental, take a step back and examine that certain aspect of your life and see what spirit is trying to tell you or what your body's trying to tell you. Because there's a message in that symptom of being clumsy. So it may be that clumsiness may be coming up because you may need to heal a certain issue or situation also. It may also be telling you to spend a few minutes in the moment by grounding yourself, spending a minute in the moment. Slow down. There's always a message. Once you're more aware of this, you will start to see the messages stand out louder and clearer. So try to stay grounded, feel the earth beneath you, get out in nature, slow down, pay attention, be mindful about what you are doing, feel your feelings when they come up, stay in the present, surround yourself with blue light when you're feeling shaky. And I talked about this blue light in video 1. I had this blue light around me when I was feeling really shitty. It was like this misty blue light. It was like a wisp of blue that kept entering the room wherever I was. And it always seemed to come around me when the headache felt so unbearable that I just was like, every time I felt that really unbearable feeling, I was like, maybe I should go to the hospital. And all of a sudden, this blue light would be like, whoosh. And it was like the angel's way of saying, I'm good. I'm here to help you. You don't need to go to the hospital. And I just heard that weird pitchy noise in my headphone again. So um, maybe that's a sign. Like, yep, that was me. Me. That was you? Angelfish said, me too. Oh, me too. Another physical symptom to this awakening may be heart palpitations. I also spoke briefly about this in video 1. Heart palpitations. I get them, and so many people share their symptoms with me all the time. So I feel that this is actually a common symptom. A racing heart usually means your heart chakra is opening. It usually only lasts for a few seconds, even though it feels like it's longer than a few seconds. It's literally a few seconds or a few moments. It doesn't really last that long. It comes and goes. And it means that the heart is rebalancing itself, or the heart chakra is opening. But it could also mean that the heart is rebalancing itself after an emotional release. So pay attention to these things. So if that's happening to you, take a step back and ask yourself, what are you dealing with at this moment? What did you deal with this past week? Did you go through something that was emotional? Did you go through an emotional release? Or it could just mean that your heart space is opening and activating. When this happened to me back in like 2000, the early part of 2010, 11, 12, somewhere around that time, I went to the heart doctor. I went to a lot of doctors, but actually I think it was like 2013, to be honest with you, because I was living in Queens, and I remember walking to my doctor from work. So yeah, it was in 2013. I went to the heart doctor because my heart would race for no reason. I would be doing absolutely nothing, and it would just be like boop, 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 boop. And I'd be like, oh my God, my heart is beating and I'm not doing anything. Sometimes my heart would even race and it would wake me up. It would start racing in my sleep and it would just wake me up. And I was scared. I thought it was like early signs of like heart attack or something. So I went and got checked out, and the doctor said I had nothing alarming going on. He said my heart was healthy. You know what he honestly said is I had a very thin frame. I had a big rib cage, and he said it's a very thin rib cage, and that's why I was feeling it. But I don't know. You're having heart palpitations now? You're activating. I'm activating you, Phil. But yeah, he did like a scan of that big vein and checked my heart out and all the valves and all that. So everything good. So it was nothing. It was nothing bad. Let me see here where I leave off. Oh, because I journal, I know the difference between certain heart palpitation patterns. So I get this sensation when I'm getting sick, and I also get that heart palpitate. My heart palpitates when I don't recognize the energy of a certain being. And when I say being, I mean spirit that enters my energy field. But the rhythm is different. So because I journal and because I've had this for a while, I literally can tell the difference between it palpitating because I'm having an emotional release or an opening of the chakra, or that there's a spirit in the room that wants to make contact, or because something in my body is off and it's I have an autoimmune disease. So when something in my body is trying to attack something, which is usually my whole body, it's like my body's always under attack. But I can feel the difference in the rhythm of it now. I can tell the difference. So I've learned to recognize the rhythm of each pattern, so I can recognize it. It's no cause for alarm for me. But if this is happening to you and this has never happened to you, you may want to just reach out to your doctor just to be safe, just to make sure that there's nothing, you don't have a heart condition. and it'll give you a peace of mind. And if your doctor gives you a clean bill of health, then you know it's your heart chakra. It's expanding, it's activating, or maybe spirit is trying to contact you. I'm almost done, by the way. I only have a couple more to talk about. Another symptom is faster hair and nail growth. This one didn't hit me until about the beginning of this year, actually. And it's because more protein is being used in the body. Maybe that's why. And you know what? It was about that time when I spoke to Andrew Bartos. It was about the beginning of the year. So maybe that's why Andrew advised me to eat more protein. I have noticed that my nails are stronger, they're longer, and they grow faster. And I'm always cutting them and they're always growing. I mean, I'm not used to having long nails, so I'm always poking myself or scratching myself or stabbing myself and cutting myself with my own damn nails. I wish my hair grew as fast as my nails did. I mean, my hair is growing, but it's not growing as fast as my nails. Even my toenails are growing fast. My nails never grew this fast. I used to wear acrylic nails, but I haven't had to put acrylics on because I have my own real nails now, and I can shape them just like the girls do when they get the acrylics on. And it's been cool. I like it. I like this new side effect. Long nails. My real nails. A lot of people on this awakening journey have a never-ending desire to find their soulmate. And you guys are probably not going to like what I have to say about soulmates. And they have this never-ending desire to find their twin flame too. My perspective of this has changed since the last video that I made about soulmates and twin flames. I didn't know if I wanted to share my perspective with you guys because so many people are so like into twin flames, and it means something totally different to them than what I'm about to talk about, and it might even make them like, what, angry? So it might make them a little like, feel some type of way. But long story short, a soulmate should bring you peace and harmony. A soulmate should make you feel balanced. It should make you feel peace. It should make you feel harmony in your life. That is your soulmate. You may even marry your soulmate. You don't have to marry your soulmate. Your soulmate could even be a cat, could be a dog, could be a horse. You can even have more than one soulmate. You can have many soulmates. You can even incarnate with soulmates that you knew in past lifetimes. So you may come across many soulmates. That's why you may resonate and feel at peace with many people in your life. That's why I say you may marry your soulmate. You may have that connection with that one. Soulmate, soul friends, that's what a soulmate is. You have traveled with these beings, these souls for many lifetimes. And you will meet up with your soulmate, when you incarnate. You may not meet up with them in every lifetime, but you guys will recognize each other by your energy signature subconsciously. However, twin flames are not harmonious. But it makes perfect sense because I feel like people are searching for their twin flame. It's because that person's going to make me whole and happy. But that's not, I don't know. My whole perspective with the twin flame changed. Twin flames are not harmonious. I'm going to tell you why. They are the ones that cause pain and hurt you. They are your twin. They are pushing you to become whole. So in order for you to become whole, you have to become triggered. So your twin flame pops up and triggers you to become whole. So they pop up in your life when you need a push in the right direction. A lot of us grow stronger when we experience pain and when we are triggered. So that's my long story short of soulmate and twin flame. So I feel like a lot of people will not resonate with that, but that's okay. That's just my perspective. The truth is, we have to be the kind of person we want to attract. All in all, we have to be the kind of person we want to attract. Hate attracts hate, and love attracts love. We have to love ourselves, and we are, I feel like we're all searching for that perfect relationship or perfect friendship. And you're not going to find that until you work on yourself. You have to love yourself before you can find that perfect, you know, friend or relationship. The work begins at home. The work begins within you. If you are a single person yearning to meet that special someone and you're feeling hopeless, hold the desire for that person in your heart, but without attachment. And be careful what you ask for too. Be careful what you're manifesting, because it will come to you and it might not be what you really wanted. Expect that someday you will meet someone who is more suited for you, but let go of any expectations as to who this will be and how it will happen. Focus instead on cleaning up your life. Focus on cleaning up your own life and being the kind of person you want to be. Be happy. Enjoy your life. When you do, that is when that special someone will pop up and arrive in your life. That is what happened to me. And I gave up. Once I was in a really bad relationship. When I finally gave up and I focused on myself and I did not want a man in my life anymore. I wanted to be single. I had my own boat detailing business, and I also worked for a company called Rainbow International doing mold. Here I go, tongue twisting again. Mold removal and water damage removal. I learned new skills. I met new people. I started to be happy, and I started to love me. I started to get to know myself. And then I got a message on a platform called MySpace back in the day. MySpace. It was like Facebook, MySpace. And Freeze hit me up. Freeze is my husband. And the rest is history. Yep, he came into my life. When I stopped worrying about when I was going to meet that special someone is when it happened. And I'll share that story in more detail, some other day. But before I was happy and I met my special someone, I was a wreck. I mean, there was one incident when I fell apart. I mean, there was a couple incidents, but there was this one incident that I was so angry with the universe and God and all that is. I was outside with a bottle of vodka and I was yelling. I was yelling at the full moon. I remember it was a full moon. I was yelling at the full moon. I was yelling at the sky. I was yelling at God. I was yelling at the universe. I was angry. And at that moment, I gave God a piece of my mind, or, what I thought was God. I gave him a piece of my mind, or it a piece of my mind. I fell to my knees and I cried like a little helpless, sad bitch. That's what I wrote. I mean, I was angry. I was hurt. I laugh now, but the pain and anger that I felt back then was so it was real. It was painful. I never want to be in that space again, and I don't ever wish anybody to be in that kind of space. It was awful. I was broken. Now I'm married. I'm happy. I'm married to the man that I literally manifested my husband. Even though we contracted to be together, but he's my soulmate. He balances me out. He makes me feel good. He brings me, he brings my soul joy. He helps me grow. He helped transform me to the woman that I am today. He helped me become a confident woman. I used to be a very jealous woman. I look back and I shake my head at the person that I was once. But that person, that aspect of me helped me a lot. I've been through a lot emotionally. There was one time, I'm going to share with you guys a really personal experience. There was one time in my life that I tried to kill myself. I was in my early 20s, and my angels saved me, and that's a true story. I swallowed a whole handful of these pills. They were like fen pills. They were diet pills. Back then, they were real popular, and you take them, and they would give you energy. And it was something that they were selling on the market back then. And I felt this presence. It you know, it like lifted me up, and I don't know, I don't even know how I got into the bathroom. I feel like I was like lifted up and I floated into the bathroom, and I made this it made me have this awful pain in my stomach, and I had this weird burning pain in my throat, and I threw up what looked like black tar. The pills that I swallowed were not black, but what I threw up was black. Then I heard I heard this presence say, "Stupid girl." I was like, I don't know. I was like, what? You know, stupid girl. I don't know. I feel like that presence was my grandma. My grandma Millie was my angel, my guardian angel, because I've always said my grandma Millie is my guardian angel. My angels also sent my neighbor, that this was all in the same time period. So I tried to swallow the pills, and I didn't die, I didn't succeed. And then I was just so upset, and I hated my life. And I remember laying on my dining room floor, and it was Christmas time, and I was holding a snow globe. And I was just looking at it crying, but I wasn't making any noise. My angels sent this neighbor to my house. And this woman that I don't even know who she is, she just walked into my house. She opened my door, turned the corner, lifted me up off the floor, and just started holding me and rocking me on the floor. And I want to say maybe she heard me crying because she was my neighbor, but at that point in my life, I was just so like hurt that I couldn't even cry anymore. I didn't have a voice. I didn't even have tears. But this woman just came in, and she lifted me off the floor, and I was crying, but I couldn't cry any more tears because I cried so much that my tears dried up, and I couldn't even cry no more. My face was chapped. I literally lost 30 pounds in 30 days. I went from a size 12 to a size 4 in 30 days. I don't remember those 30 days. I don't remember anything about those 30 days other than a couple of those bad incidents. I was so sad, all because my kid's father left me for another woman. And I was with him since I was 15, and I was 24 when he left. And I don't even know why I was so sad. Like, I look back now and I'm like, why was I so sad? He literally abused me mentally and physically, and I accepted it all, and I still wanted him back. And I was just, I don't know. It was like my world was upside down. So when that whole breakup happened, it's like I wanted nothing to do with anybody. I just wanted to be alone. And that's when I learned to love myself. But my neighbor came in, and she lifted me up off that floor. She hugged me, and she held me, and I cried. Back then, it's when I believed Jesus was a real man, and that's when I was crying, Jesus is real, Jesus is real. And I say that because I feel that the whole thing with, Jesus, the prophet is real, but the whole thing with Jesus is born in Christmas time and all that jazz, that's not true. The whole thing with that's all symbolic for the stars, the Aquarius and the Virgin and all that stuff. It's all symbolic. But anyways, I'll say that for another video. But that's what I was crying. I remember crying, Jesus is real. And I didn't know this woman. She literally saved me. Then my mom ended up coming, and she helped me out too. I was dead, like dead, living in my body, but dead. And I attached to emotion, and emotion almost killed me. And I only shared this very personal information with you guys because someone needed to hear it and know that they're not alone, and that they can reach out, to me if they ever need to talk. This is, you know, when this is also when I started to see the number 911 pop up into my realm, my timeline, which for me it means call to action. Spirit actually outed my, fiance that cheated on me. I remember the day really well. I remember sitting, crocheting a blanket, and then I heard spirit, the same spirit that whispered "stupid girl," whispered to me while I was crocheting the blanket to check his phone. And I was like, what? And I just happened to turn around because I was like, I don't know, what am I hearing? I turn around, I see his phone on the counter. I was like, that is crazy. So I picked it up out of curiosity, and the rest is history. That's how I found out he was cheating and all that stuff. So this is the God's honest truth, what I'm sharing with you guys. The same woman's voice that said that is the same one that called me stupid girl. But yeah, I only shared that with you guys just to, to express to you about learning how to love yourself and being alone and stop looking for that special someone to be in your life. When I literally learned how to love myself and I stopped worrying about who my next boyfriend was going to be or what this guy was going to look like or what he was going to act like or where he was going to work or be like or what a relationship would be like. When I literally stopped thinking like that and focusing on making myself happy and being happy is when the perfect person actually came into my life. And that's my husband that I'm married to today for 14 years. So that's why I shared that with you guys. The last, we're at the end, you guys. The last symptom before I wrap this up is memories. Memories of the past will surface. Body memories will arise. Body memories pop up as pain, past life trauma, death. For example, I died in a past life from breast cancer. I have issues with the breast that had cancer. Okay, it hurts sometimes, and it only hurts because it's the memory. It's the memory from that past life. It hurts sometimes. So when I'm not being nurturing to myself, or if I'm not nurturing my kids in a motherly kind of way, because I can tend to be a little harsh or strict on myself and also my kids, even my older kids. I'm like a tough love. It's kind of like tough love to teach them. When I notice that I'm too tough, then I'll get that sensation. Then that memory will resurface. My body memory will resurface. By the way, the reason why I know I had that past life, because I did a past life hypnotic past life reading a couple years ago, and it really resonated with me. The reading was awesome. Highly recommend you guys doing it if that is your thing. So yeah, what else? Also, images of past lives could pop up, or parallel lives could pop up for you guys. We're all healing and integrating all ourselves. Okay, so expect to have some of these experiences. Keep in mind that it is best to recall only what comes to mind. Leave the rest alone. Don't try to remember. Don't try to make it come up. Don't analyze everything to death, because you will be stuck in the tape loop of infinite issues to process. So acknowledge it and let it go. Don't invest too much time into it or too much energy into it. Just acknowledge it and let it go. You can even feel it as they come up, but release it. Don't sit in those feelings. Feel it, release it, let it go. If you need help doing that, reach out to your higher self, your divine spiritual team, or even your angels. So, you guys, I'm done. Holy shit. 169 minutes. That's a record for me. And I do long videos. I do long videos. So what do you guys think? You guys definitely have to go check out video 1, which I posted yesterday because my tablet died. This one is video 2. If you guys have any questions, I'm probably not going to answer too many tonight, but if you guys have any questions, when this video finally uploads, you can ask them, and I'll reach back out to you guys. also could relate to most of it. That is awesome. I'm glad that you could relate to most of it. I'm going to definitely read all of this probably tomorrow. I'm just reading some of your comments. My human design chart. I'm going to look into that. Okay, I'm going to look into that. That whole human design chart. Send me more information on that. Email me. Orbicon, email me. Twin flame is an energy, not necessarily a person. Yeah, I get that too. I can resonate with that or vibe with that. The energy of, oops, I don't know what it tapped on. Yeah, I guess I can resonate with that. I'm just kind of just going through your stuff and scanning real quick. I'll definitely go through this tomorrow. Read some more. Let me see. Yes, you guys. I love you guys too. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me, you guys. I know this was long. I know a lot of people are not into the long videos. Me personally, when I like a YouTuber, I love their long videos. I'll clean my house listening to them. I'll take my shower listening to them. I'll do my walk of gratitude listening to them. And I like get all into it. When people do the short videos, I'm like, shit, I want more. But I get a lot of people that are like, oh, damn, girl, your video is so long. I can't hang. I do. I love long videos. So I try to do short videos for the people that like short videos. And my intention is to do a 30-minute, and 30 minutes always turns into 60. I try so hard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for just sticking with me and hanging in there. Thank you, Phil. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I love what is that, a pear? It's a pear throwing me heart kisses. How cute. I like the sticker. So I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this very, very long 2-part video. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. If I talked about anything that touched you deeply, feel free to contact me. Like, for instance, when I talked about the suicide and I talked about the relationship issues or anything. If you guys feel anything that you need to talk about and I'm somebody that you feel comfortable talking to, just email me. Real quick, before I end this video, I just want to let you guys know if you're into tarot or past life or angel cards, I do readings. I also do numerology readings. So it's kind of more like a numerology chart. I do offer ascension support and guidance. I also offer energy release. And if you're into like candle magic and stuff like that, I have that service. I have Mojo dolls. They're the same thing as Mojo bags, except for they're Mojo dolls. And they're really cute, and I make them myself, and I sew them by hand. I don't use a sewing machine, so all of the energy goes into the doll, and I pack it. Yeah, I do random, like I'm making some, but I also do personalized Mojo dolls. So if you want something personalized, you email me, we'll talk, and then I'll put, certain crystals and herbs into your doll for you. I did make some oregano tinctures, and they're awesome. And I have some more things that I'm going to be adding to this list, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. Also, if any of you guys feel guided to donate, donations are always open. I love donations, but for most of you guys that have been following me forever and ever, my favorite donation is a time donation, and a time donation is you using your time to write me a letter and mail it to me via snail mail. I love getting mail from, the mailbox. So if you guys feel guided, feel free to, send me a time donation. All of the information is below my videos. It probably won't be below this video anytime tonight, but if you go to any of my other videos, all of my information is below there. Also, I'm looking for somebody that does digital artwork. I need someone to create some artwork for me so I can make some merchandise. I have my own t-shirt pressing machine. I can press shirts, hats, mugs, stuff like that. And I'm just looking for somebody that can create art for me so I can send it to the place where I get my transfers from, so I can start selling some merch. If you know anybody that does digital art, or if you are that somebody, please email me and I will discuss with you my ideas of what I want to, put on a shirt, hat, coffee mug, blanket. All right, guys. I love you so, so much. And I'm going to wrap up this video with a few mantras. I embrace all upgrades appropriate for me under the protection of my higher self. I am a being of light, compassion, and love. I send love to, and you guys would say who you're going to send love to. I'm going to send love to each and every single soul that was on my live chat tonight. And I want you guys to remember that we're not physical beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. I love you guys all. I wish you all a very merry, magical Christmas if I don't talk to you guys, before Christmas. Much love and light to all of you guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Namaste, you guys. I love you. Good night.